What's going on, guys? Welcome back to episode 3 of the Inside the One podcast. Look at us. Look at us staying on schedule for 3 weeks in a row. Probably the best podcast on earth, if I'm being honest. We are here with my man, Jeff, a.k.a. J. Huff. How you doing, sir?
Going on, guys?
All right. We have quite a, it's not the most exciting week in terms of NFL news and whatnot, but we have some exciting stuff to talk about still today. We will always find a way to make it entertaining. So make sure you smash the like button down below if you enjoy this, and subscribe to both of us. His link is in the description because you don't want to miss any episodes. We alternate. If you missed episode 2, you're wondering why we're on episode 3, it's because you missed it. You didn't subscribe to Jeff. That's on you. Go subscribe, watch episode 2, come back to this one, and yeah, man, stop slacking. Anyways, we're going to jump right into this, man. We have a few topics today. We're going to go over some of the new NFL free agent signings. There's not much, but there's some pretty decent ones as well. We got some rumors to talk about. We got some general NFL stuff to go over, which of course includes our best friend on the podcast, Deshaun Watson, always giving us content. And then we got a couple trades. We got some big-ass trades. Let's go with the trades. Trades are huge today. And then we got some little pro day stuff for the draft, and then we're going to do a little segment at the end where we go over some breakout candidates. We're going to do that every single week leading up to the season. We're going to go over one division specifically. Each of us are going to pick somebody from that team in the division, go over why we think they're going to break out, blah, 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 blah. You guys will see it at the end. So yes, let's just jump into the new signings. We're going to start off with the biggest one of the week, which is Seattle keeping Tyler Lockett. They extend my man's. He got the bag. 4 years, $69 million.
Yeah.
It's $37 million guaranteed, but with the amount of times that Russell Wilson throws to Tyler Lockett, I'm going to go ahead and go out on a limb and say he's going to earn most of that $69 million in incentives. So yeah, do what you got to do. Got to keep Russell Wilson happy. He wants to leave potentially, so the last thing you wanted to do was lose Tyler Lockett. You have DK Metcalf, and they're looking for a wide receiver 3. I've heard Marquise Goodwin brought up. Russell Wilson is like desperate to get Antonio Brown. Like, he's been slobbing to Antonio Brown for 2 years now.
Really?
And yeah, he is going hard after Antonio Brown. I think Antonio Brown wants to stay in Tampa Bay,
That's
but
what
if
I
they
heard.
don't have the finances in place that he wants, because I'm assuming now that he's played a whole season and went off a little bit in the
Wants more
playoffs,
money.
he's kind of like, okay, yeah, no more veteran minimum for me. So we'll have to wait and see. But you know, Seattle, they got to do something, because when your best player wants to leave, that's unfortunate.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be the worst thing to do if they gave him away, because, I mean, who are you going to replace Tyler Lockett with? You know, I mean, before DK came along, Tyler Lockett was the guy. Him and Golden Tate left, so now you have DK. So, I mean, it's just, you can't give away your weapons, because he's trying to leave.
Yeah.
And he says he's
I don't
there,
even know.
but we don't know.
I don't even know if DK would be that good if he was like, if they didn't have Tyler Lockett. Like, if DK was the guy, I don't, you know, who knows?
I'm going to say no. I think he gets helped a lot by Tyler Lockett being there.
Yeah. Well, the Colts are also bringing back a defensive end, Al-Qadim Muhammad. Not the biggest name in the world, but they had one of the best defensive lines in the league last year. So just bring as many of those dudes back as you can, because that was a major strength on their team last season. And you never know what you're going to get from Carson Wentz. So you got to keep the defense together, because they might be on the field a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know a whole lot about this guy, but I mean, he had to be good. I mean, considering that DeForest Buckner was there, and then we talked about a guy last week that's still there, so it looks like they're trying to keep as much of the boys together. I'm just hoping that they can, stay on the field and try to keep Carson Wentz from being on the field, because I believe in that defense more than the offense. I mean, call me crazy, but I think the Colts are a defensive team nowadays.
They are, for sure. But, you know, that could change if Carson Wentz just wakes up one day and decides to be great. We'll have to wait and see.
We'll see.
Now back to the Seahawks. This is where they're struggling a little bit, because yeah, they kept Tyler Lockett, but I'm noticing them not really keeping much else other than that. They lost Quentin Dunbar now to the Lions on a 1-year deal. I'm kind of disappointed by that. I thought the Saints might go after him, but you know what? We're not doing anything, so we're staying quiet. So good for the Lions. I'm not really sure what the Lions are doing. I'm trying to tell, like, are the Lions going to be ass or not? Because they've made some moves in free agency, but they also lost like their 2 best players. So I'm a little bit shook on the Lions right now.
They're shifting, kind of like they're gaining secondary, but they're losing in other spots, like wide receiver Galladay. So
it's like they're afraid. It's like they're afraid to commit to like a full-on just tear down rebuild. Maybe they are, but since they have
They don't
Jared
want to be
Goff
ass.
for now, yeah, maybe they're just assuming that Jared Goff's going to get them to at least 5 or 6 wins anyway, so they might as well try to sneak into the playoffs. But we'll see. They just don't have any weapons for Goff, man. I feel like Goff's being set up to look like absolute garbage, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Well, real quick, before we move to the next spot, I mean, because we're talking about Quentin Dunbar leaving the Seahawks, so it's just like, I have to sit here and think real quick, what are these Seahawks doing in secondary? It's like, I'm glad they're keeping all their wide receivers and offensive weapons, it looks like, and, they kept Carlos Dunlap, but I mean, what, you lose Dunbar, and then you lost Shaquille Griffin? So it's just like,
they still
what's
have
left?
They still have Quandre Diggs, right? That's like their best secondary player left.
Yeah,
I mean,
Trey Flowers, I believe. So, I mean, I feel like they've taken a major hit in secondary.
It's not looking good. It's not looking good at all. But hey, they have clearly chosen offense over defense. That's like a very clear thing to me right now.
Yeah.
They want Russell Wilson to have the weapons, but Russell Wilson going to have to win MVP this year for them to get anywhere. I'll tell you that right now. He's got to throw for 4,500 yards and 40 touchdowns, or they're going to lose every game.
Yeah. I just wanted to bring that up because it's just like, all right, well, we were talking about the Seahawks kind of staying, competitive with the rest of the division, and then they're getting rid of their secondary almost once a week. They're getting rid of somebody from their secondary. It's just like I'm getting a little more worried as the weeks pass.
Speaking of the NFC West, the 49ers bring in what can only imagine is going to be a third-string quarterback, Nate Sudfeld, whose legendary appearance for the Eagles in their nationally televised tank job got a 1-year deal for the 49ers, but he is not going to play. So it is what it is. I mean, you always got to have backup insurance. Jimmy G could get hurt. The rookie quarterback might look like ass for whatever reason, and you got Nate Sudfeld to come in, which is not much better. But hey, you never know. Injuries happen, so especially with the 49ers.
Yeah.
So I can understand why they want to have 3 deep, but I wonder if he's going to make it out of camp, though. I wonder if they're bringing him in just in case they decide to last minute move on from Jimmy and have a rookie with him as the backup.
Probably an insurance policy more than anything.
Yeah. If they decide to keep Jimmy Garoppolo, they're probably not going to bring him in because there's no point. The Bills have made. I didn't even know this guy's name is amazing. The Bills, they signed forward Chargers second-round pick Forrest Lamp.
Forrest Lamp. Not Forrest Gump, but Forrest Lamp.
Yep. He was a second-round pick. I don't actually know much about him. I don't know if he's any good for the Chargers or not.
I don't think he was a starter, to be honest. But
you're a second-round pick. You can't be too much of a bum.
Can't be bad.
So. Always good to have backups. They brought in Bobby Hart last week, so they got some backup O-linemen in there now. Good for them. The Bengals have released Giovanni Bernard, fan favorite, for his iconic mustache.
8 years with them, by the way.
8 years. And he's not bad.
No.
He wasn't bad for them. He was a great second option behind Joe Mixon, and I don't even remember who they had in there before Joe Mixon, but he's always been a good second running back, always. So I know fans are sad about that one, but it is what it is. The Bengals, they're moving on from a lot of their long-term guys and trying to start a whole refresh here, so I understand it.
So what are they going to do just in case Joe Mixon gets hurt again?
Well, they have Samaje Perine. I'm sorry, I'm saying his name wrong for sure.
Perine, but I mean,
they have him and they have Travion
Bernard?
Williams. No, definitely not. But if they're trying to get rid of everybody that was there, because I mean, I'd have to imagine that after AJ Green and Geno Atkins were cut, he had to be the longest term player. So I think they're just trying to move on from everybody and start over. So it is what it is.
That's fair.
They got some good young guys. I think Travion Williams is going to get a shot to play. Or they can draft somebody in the later rounds. Who knows?
Sure.
Oh, boy. Bengals. They're doing good, though, so I'm not mad about this one. They at least for the first time in a while, they seem to know what direction they want to go in, so I'm just gonna roll with it.
Yeah.
Okay. So the Eagles, who have had just, in my opinion, a horrible start to the offseason, they're signing Eric Wilson. Used to play for the Vikings, 1-year deal, $3 million. He had 122 tackles last year, though, so he had a really good season for the Vikings. He's probably one of the only good defensive players for the Vikings last year. He even had 3 picks, actually, so that's actually a good signing for them, not going to lie.
Yeah. I mean, it's not the only thing they've done either. I mean, they brought back Jordan Howard for they're bringing him back for a 1-year deal, so it seems like they're trying to at least not be terrible, maybe, but I mean, I see their quarterback situation, and I'm a little nervous for them.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts changed in his jersey number to number 1. Don't know
After
what that's
Carson
going to
wants
do.
to, yeah, I saw that. It was
But
more of a statement to Wentz, I think.
yeah, I want to believe in Jalen Hurts, but the eye test is not. We'll see. We'll see how he does as a full year as a starter. But I think the Eagles are fully prepared to make a move for like Russell Wilson or something like that. I mean, look how many they traded down to 12, and we kind of shit on them last weekend. But I was reading some articles about the Eagles and like the potential of Russell Wilson. They have like I think they might have 4 first-round picks in the next 2 years. I think I could be wrong, but they have a bunch of picks now because of these trades they made, and it's like. Will Russell Wilson maybe add the Eagles to his list? Because if he does, they have the most assets to get. It's an interesting development if Jalen Hurts does not play well.
That's news to me. I mean, that'd be interesting. I know he was. I think the Bears was the first team that I heard about him going to. They were fighting for him pretty much, but Eagles.
Yeah, the Bears went hard.
That'd be interesting.
The Saints definitely want him too, but they're just in a much tougher situation with picks and cap space and assets and whatnot. They'd almost certainly have to give up a player like I don't know, Cam Jordan or even like Michael. I just don't think they're going to do that. So, but you never know. We'll see what happens as the season progresses. Now we have some other rumors. Well, it's not really a rumor because it got finalized the other day. But last week we talked about Sean Davis from the Steelers visiting the Bills. That didn't work out. He visited the Colts and he signed there. So the Steelers lose another secondary guy. And he goes to the Colts.
Good for the Colts, bad for the Steelers. Worse for the Steelers.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on.
Steelers have a lot of work to do in the draft.
For real.
They got to fill in their running back spot in the draft. They got to work on the secondary in the draft. They got a lot of things to do. Do they want to draft a quarterback in like the second or third round just in case? Like, what do they want to do? They have a lot of work to do. They got a lot of work to do. And there's some interesting additions today. We're recording this later than we normally would, and the Bears are talking about trading Anthony Miller. Now, what the hell's going on with the Bears, Jeff?
I mean, when I was researching this a little bit, it's just the Bears, it seems like, how do you go from being in the playoffs last year? I mean, what? They were probably like one of the last seeds in the NFC, but I mean, now you're talking about getting rid of Anthony Miller, and he's a former second-round pick. It's not like he was bad. Like, I like the duo they have over there, but I mean, I guess this might be something that Anthony Miller he just wants out. I mean, how do you go from, I don't know, I can only imagine being in his shoes because, like, okay, you had Mitch throwing to you, you had Nick Foles throwing to you, now you have, I mean,
Andy
the
Dalton.
Red Rocket throwing to you, so it's just like, he's probably just wants a little bit, I don't know what he wants, I don't know if it's him or not, but I just think the Bears are just going backwards every single day, and their team's just going to get worse. I'm starting to think that they're going to be the last ones in the division. They're not going to even make the playoffs. They're not going to even see the playoffs this year. I don't think so.
Probably. Think they're worse than the Lions?
I think so. I mean, every single week, I'm starting to see more things going around that team that's just not looking good.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to lose. I mean, Allen Robinson, no chance next season.
Yeah.
Unless you franchise tag him again, which will piss him off. And then you're trading potentially Anthony Miller. I can't remember the name of their other really good wide receiver that they had this year. I can't remember his name.
Sims?
No, it was
something like that. I don't know.
I'll look it up. Anyways, we'll figure it out. But
Mooney? Darnell Mooney?
Yeah, Mooney. Yeah, Darnell Mooney. Yep, he's going to be alone. He's going to be alone, and they want to try to bring in Russell Wilson with no wide receivers. Are you out of your mind?
Not happening.
They're gonna get scratched right up off his list. They're only on the list because of Allen Robinson and all these receivers. I don't know, dude.
And then you got rid of Kyle Fuller, so it's just like, I don't know, man. Major pieces are leaving the Bears, and I'm just starting to think the Lions have. I don't know, man.
Like Andy Dalton went to this team and was like, "Oh yeah, I got guys to throw to now." Nope.
Think again.
No, you don't.
He might have been in a better situation over in the Cowboys.
He really would have been. Yeah, he was. But I don't know, man.
Bears are going backwards.
But they're going really, really backwards. And unfortunately for them, they got to play 17 games this year going backwards because that got approved earlier in this week. We thought it would. We talked about it last time. But it was confirmed, voted through. They're voting on some other things coming up, like the jersey number stuff, where wide receivers can wear different numbers, whatever. But they approved a 17-game season, so we can no longer complain about it. It is what it is, and you just got to play your games.
Yeah, players are not happy with it.
Yeah, they're not.
But it is what it is.
Some of that, they should have voted. some of the I guess quote unquote marquee matchups. You're not going to get a great game from every single matchup in the 17th week
No,
added in there.
but these are pretty good.
Yeah, Adam Schefter tweeted out some of the big games. You have New Orleans going to Tennessee. So you have Derrick Henry going up against that D line in New Orleans. That's a good matchup. You have Tampa Bay going into Indianapolis. Tom Brady. Anytime you got Tom Brady on the field, that's going to be listed somewhere. You got,
I like the third one.
This game is outrageous. Green Bay at Kansas City.
Nasty.
Good Lord. That could be a Super Bowl matchup.
Could be.
That's a huge game. I'm actually very much excited to watch that game, to be honest with you.
It's going to be a State Farm,
hopefully everybody's
17
healthy.
State Farm game.
State Farm game. We have the Giants playing in Miami. Not sure why that's on here, but maybe they think the Giants are going to be good this year. I don't know. But you got Miami. You never know what's going to happen with them. They had a good team last year. Tua should be better this year. So we have Dallas at New England. Those are just two big franchises. That's the only reason that's on here.
Yeah.
And then we have the Rams with Matthew Stafford going. Is this game in Baltimore?
I want to say it's in the Rams. I can't remember.
It's in Los Angeles. Well, they don't have any fans anyway, so it's
Damn.
It's gonna be. Dude, the LA thing is so stupid. They literally split Los Angeles into two teams. The Chargers have no fans. It's embarrassing. Anyways, Rams and Ravens. That's a big game, man. Matt Stafford going into the Ravens with their no wide receiver having an ass team.
Hopefully,
Jalen Ramsey can take the day off.
Right, yeah, that's what I'm saying. He'll just be chilling on the sidelines and then just watch Lamar and everybody else just run for 200 yards.
Yeah, Jalen Ramsey gonna take a sick day. Oh Lord.
Speaking of people having a good time, Aaron Rodgers, he's actually hosting Jeopardy for 2 weeks, starting Monday, April 5th. What already passed, and he's there until April 12th, and he's already had a couple of trolls on the show. He had a contestant say, "Who decided to kick that field goal?" And you know what this guy says? He said, "That's a great question." And he I think he was on the Pat McAfee show and talking about how he thinks he could do it full time, being a Jeopardy host. I think that'd be funny.
That would be crazy. Do that full time in the off season and tape all the shows and then play. That would be wild.
Stays busy.
I will say that I did watch one of the episodes just to see. Like I skimmed through it.
Yeah.
And oh man, it seemed super forced. He is not the best TV personality.
No.
I don't know. It was kind of weird to watch, but it was funny though. It was funny that they trolled him like that. Speaking of Aaron Rodgers, there's an ESPN interview that hasn't fully dropped yet, but Twitter got a hold of a clip, and it could be out of context. You never know with Twitter. But the guy asked Aaron Rodgers if he wants to be a Packer for life, and Aaron Rodgers' answer was kind of beat around the bush nonsense.
Yeah.
He said, I don't even know if that's possible. It's out of my hands. That was his answer. And then the reporter was kind of like, come on, that's not really an answer. Like, don't you want to clear the air with the Packers fans? And my man's Aaron Rodgers said, you and I both know it doesn't work like that. God dang.
What does
if
that
that wasn't
mean,
the
though?
most shit. Dude, first of all, I just want to say right now, I've been a Saints fan this whole time. If that was Drew Brees,
I'm flipping.
he would have said yes. Yes, I am staying in New Orleans for life, and I will retire if I'm not playing for the Saints anymore. Yeah. That would have been his answer. This man, Aaron Rodgers, is just like, I don't know. It's out of my hands. What do you mean it's out of your hands? Like, he's assuming that when his
contracts
in that situation, he must think the Packers are going to want to move on from him at some point. No, they're not, dude. Come on.
I think he got a little turned off by the whole draft from last year. Like, he thinks that they're looking for a way to get him out of there, but I'm like, bro, you're Aaron Rodgers. You just got the MVP.
It has to hurt losing the NFC Championship game every year, though. It has to hurt.
Yeah, I'm sure he's taking it.
You got to start getting this mental block where it's like, okay, maybe this team is cursed or something, because it's getting outrageous at this point. Tom Brady came in here into the frozen tundra and had a 28-point lead or something like that. Whatever it was, 18, whatever the lead was at halftime. And it's just like, dude, I don't want this anymore. But I kind of still do want this. So
you're Aaron Rodgers. Like, do you not really think that you don't have any type of leeway into your contracts? And even if you don't want to be in a Packer for life, I mean, there's so many teams that would want you. Like, you are people want Aaron Rodgers. You have a say so. Don't sit there and say, oh, well, absolutely. I don't know. It's not even possible. It's out of my hands. I don't buy that.
It's not impossible at all. Does he really think that the Packers are going to come to him at the end of his contract and be like, "Hey, listen, we're going to move on to Jordan Love now"? Are you out of your mind? Are you insane? Like, I think the only time that might have happened was with the Colts with Peyton Manning because Peyton got hurt and Andrew Luck was coming up, and they were like, "Listen, Peyton, we're going to draft Andrew Luck, and he's going to be." And Peyton was probably just kind of like, "Okay, well, I'll just leave then because I don't want you to have to worry about that stress of deciding who's going to start because you're going to have this superstar quarterback sitting on the bench, and you're going to be sitting here the whole time trying to decide if you have the balls to bench Peyton Manning. So I'll just do it myself, and you guys can trade me somewhere else." But I don't think the Packers had that situation. Like, Jordan Love is not that dude. He can wait.
No.
You made Aaron Rodgers wait for how many years behind Brett Favre?
True.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, the only reason you got rid of Brett Favre is because Aaron Rodgers was sitting back there like his contract was about to be up and you needed to see if you were going to actually play him or not. So, I don't know. I don't see any reason for the Packers to want to move on for him. It's just interesting considering how many times they've lost, considering they didn't do anything to add to the offense last season. What happened last season was the guys they already had stepped up. You had guys that you didn't think were going to be very good become good receivers for him and stuff like that. Aaron Jones went off. So it's kind of like, okay, maybe they got away with drafting a quarterback in the first round because you had guys like Valdez Scantling and whatever step up.
Yeah.
But you got lucky with that shit because Aaron Rodgers did not want you to draft a quarterback. It is what it is, though.
I think
speaking of quarterbacks, Tom Brady had a rookie card sell for $2.25 million. What's going on here, man? What is going on with these cards? Like, trading card, like this, I feel like it started, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but in 2020, I think Pokemon started this. And now all types of cards, the market is just crazy now.
Yeah,
like Pokemon definitely started. Logan Paul juiced Pokemon cards to the moon.
He did.
And then sports cards then followed suit. And it's just like, bro, the market for sports cards, guys, check your basement.
Check your attics.
Look in your box. My dad has a box of basketball cards. I know 100% because he told me a million times. There's a rookie Shaquille O'Neal in there. Now, I don't know what the condition is. I have to get it graded. But if there's a rookie Shaquille O'Neal, like, you just never know. I don't know what rookie card I don't know if that's a top tier rookie card or if it's a shitty one.
Was it signed?
This guy,
though?
I don't know if it's signed. That's what I'm saying. I don't know. If it is signed, I'm hype. I'm about to buy a house.
Like, no, the Tom Brady card that sold, was it signed?
Yes.
It was signed. Okay.
Yes, it is. Yes, and the signature was graded as a 9 out of 10.
Damn.
I'm not sure if it was I can't remember if it was a jersey patch. Because with NFL cards, they have just basic cards, they have auto cards, and then they have patch autos. So they have, like, your basic card is just a card with a picture on it and some stats with some cool art, like a Madden card. And then you have the auto card, which is the same thing, but it has an autograph on it somewhere. And those are usually numbered 1 out of X amount. And then you have like a patch auto, which has a jersey patch that's signed. Or sometimes it's a jersey patch that's separate on the card, and then the signature is somewhere else. There's all different types of stuff. Typically the patch auto is the more expensive type, but I can't remember if this one had a patch on it or not. I looked it up very briefly just because I couldn't believe the price point. But he broke his own record because Tom Brady had the previous record and it was like 1.5 million.
Damn.
So Tom Brady cards are just out here. If you have a Tom Brady card, check your basement. That's all I'm saying.
I'm about to go buy some cards right now and just hope for that one of the rookies that I get just end up being big.
Just goddamn, dude.
Why not?
Yeah, just start.
How much is a pack of cards? $5?
Dude, first of all, finding a pack is impossible. Go to Target, look in the card section, tell me what you see. I'll tell you what you'll see. You'll see 10 people standing there waiting for the fucking pack UPS delivery guy to show up to put the packs on the wall. These people are, this stuff is getting outrageous. Like, I went to Target with my girlfriend. She wanted to buy some makeup. I was just chilling, walking along with her. I look over, and I'm just like, bro, there is a line here. And I knew immediately what it was because I saw they were in the pack section. And you can see, like, all the random little shitty packs that are still on the wall. They're looking for, like, I don't know the brand. It might, like, I think for the NBA it's Topps, Topps, I think. But for NFL, I can't remember what the brand is. But they're just all waiting there. I'm like, bro, god damn. And you can't even find, like, Pokemon cards online anymore. No. It's just the whole trading card thing has gotten so. I feel like I missed a big boat on that.
I mean, I still have Pokemon cards, myself. But I mean, they're not like first edition Charizards or anything that's going to make me a millionaire.
Yeah, I hate myself for not doing Pokemon cards when I was a kid, man. God damn it, stupid ass.
It's all good.
So,
Kyle Trask?
yeah, dude. This is okay. So there's some stuff. Saints went to the UF Pro Day, Florida Gators, and they supposedly, and it was in quotation marks, like Kyle Trask. Okay. And of course, the internet just blows this up. Oh my God, Kyle Trask is so bad. Haha, Saints, LOL,
Yeah.
trash franchise, poverty team. Bro, what the fuck did you want them to say? Do you go to a pro day, you don't walk out to the interviewers, they ask you, what did you think about Kyle Trask? Oh, he's garbage. What?
Yeah.
Like, what did you want them to say? It could also be a smokescreen too. Like, yeah, maybe they, are throwing up Kyle Trask because they want somebody else around that range, and they want the other teams to think, oh, don't worry about the Saints, they're drafting Kyle Trask. There's all sorts of different reasons why you would say that. There's no chance in balls that they're drafting Kyle Trask in the first round.
I don't think so.
No shot. No shot. You
I'll
got
be
two
shocked if
quarterbacks
they
making
do.
$10 million this year. No way.
No way.
No freaking way. I will.
Where'd you see that at?
Where the
whole
Trask thing?
Yeah.
It was on Bleacher Report, I think,
Okay.
or Gridiron or something like that.
I don't buy that at all. I mean, it's a fun little rumor to talk about, but I don't buy that.
There's no, dude. I'll be pissed. All the holes that we have on this team. Oh, I swear to God, dude.
You need a corner? Nope. Kyle Trask.
Yeah. Speaking of corners, Michael Thomas's good friend Carlton Davis got into some trouble this week on Twitter. He used a anti-Asian racial slur on accident. And the reason why I said accident is because I absolutely believe this. Because I had to look up. I didn't even know what the word could have possibly been. I had to look it up. And it's the G word. I'm not going to say it because obviously it's offensive. But I would have had no idea that was an offensive word. And that just brings up, I just want to talk about cancel culture for one quick second.
Oh, boy.
Because he says this word, he uses it as just a regular slang term towards stupid reporters. That's what he used that word for.
Okay.
And he said, and in South Florida, which I can absolutely believe, that's just a regular slang word that they use. Nobody in South Florida apparently knows that that's towards Asians, and I didn't either.
I didn't either, no.
So
I never even heard of this word.
Exactly. You can't just automatically assume. How about we educate people before we start canceling people? Okay? I can only imagine how his Twitter thread went before he deleted it. Okay? I would have to guess that it was probably something like this. He probably posted this, get these G's out of here. They always report stupid shit. Whatever he said, right? The first comment was probably a very nice Asian man who was like, you know what, sir? Just so you know, that's an offensive word towards Asian people. With the current climate right now, with Asian Americans, you probably shouldn't say things like that. And then all the angry white people in the world saw that response and was like, oh my God, he said a racist Asian, and then shit on him for the entire rest of his thread.
Yeah.
Because I think, I truly believe that, I'm not Asian, they have to know that we don't know what the fuck that word means. Where did that word come from? When did we invent that?
Yeah.
Somebody in South Florida probably came up with that word on their own, never heard it before, and thought it was funny, and used it to call people dumb or whatever. Like, haha, you G word, and it ends up being a racial slur to Asians from the 1900s. Yeah. It's like, wow, dude, come on, bro. He made a mistake. I believe his apology. I truly believe that it was an accident because looking at that word, it just looks like a word that you would make up and call somebody a name. It really does.
Yeah. I've never heard of it.
Yeah. So it's more like, how about can somebody make a list? Can some big Twitter account please just make a list of offensive words? I'm so serious because I bet you there's so many racist words that we don't know. Can we just get a list of words that we can show people to not say on social media because this is outrageous?
It needs to represent every single race too, because obviously there's, we don't know what's offensive to every single race.
That's what I'm saying. There's probably so many. Like in sign language, for example, or like in different countries, there's certain fingers that you could put up that's offensive. I don't know those things. You raise your pinky finger in Morocco or something.
At a 90-degree angle.
The worst thing ever. Yeah. People need to be educated. There has to be some way to educate people on what not to say, because you can't just assume that we all know that that's a bad word. That's not fair.
The only time I would say it's like okay to quote unquote cancel is if he continues to use this word, knowing what it means, and
Right.
he's still.
It's like when white
being
people drop the
disrespectful.
N-bomb.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, bro.
So I mean,
So,
I will give him a pass on this one. If he continues to do it, then go whatever, cancel culture, whatever.
yeah, leave my man's alone. He's still a dickhead, though. Michael Thomas is going to eat his ass next year. Anyways.
Our favorite person ever on the podcast.
Deshaun Watson. Let's get a round of applause for just constantly giving us content. Deshaun Watson. Oh, boy. So we had some new complaints. Somebody went to the actual police this time in Houston. So now the police are involved, which is not good.
That was
And
a
then,
award-winning
yeah.
performance that I saw from her.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you
Tears
guys that
and
think
everything.
they're faking this, like, you think these are the best actresses in the world? Come on, bro. But the woman that went to the police said that he's had at least 50 different women give him a massage.
So now we
I
went from
mean-
19 or 18 to 22. Now we're up to 50.
Yeah, well, it's 22 confirmed and 50 potential.
Right. It's getting worse.
It's honestly like, it's getting really hard to. And there's so many comments on Twitter and like on social media about how the Texans are setting this up. Can you all just take a second to use your brain cells? Why on earth?
What did they get out of
I
that?
understand. Yeah, I understand Deshaun Watson wants to leave. But if you're the Houston Texans, does it suck to lose your franchise quarterback? Yes. But you're going to get 4 first-round picks, no problem, for Deshaun Watson. And maybe more than that. So doing this, they might have to give a first-round pick with Deshaun Watson just to get him out of Houston.
Yeah.
So it's like, why would they, like, just think for a second. The Houston Texans are not involved. It's either women lying about it or Deshaun Watson's an asshole. It's one of the two.
Well, what's making me think it's true is that Watson's not even like protecting himself at all. He's not arguing against it. He's quiet. He is super quiet right now.
All he's doing is deleting stuff from Twitter and whatnot.
And that's super sus to me.
It is. It is sus. So I don't know, man. It's not looking good.
And I think other companies are catching on too, like Nike and Beats by Dre. They're suspending their deals with Deshaun. So it's like, I mean,
I think the NFL is getting close to putting him on the exempt list. I really think they are, because it's like you're innocent until proven guilty, but like at a certain point, like you also have to believe the women though. Like you really have to believe both sides until it goes to court.
Right.
You can't just assume that 22 women are lying, because that is what deters women from speaking out in general in the first place. So you want women to feel confident in speaking out when they are abused, okay? So you can't just assume that they're lying every time. But also, you can't just assume that Deshaun Watson's a piece of garbage, because there has been lies for settlement money in the past. Yeah. So it's one of those things where, like, and then there's the girl that spoke out, the one that was crying. Her lawyer, or somewhere it was said that she asked for $100,000 settlement to stay quiet, and they said no, and that's why she spoke out. So she was the first one to admit to like looking for money the first time.
Yeah.
But that doesn't necessarily mean that she's lying though, because some of these people don't want to talk about this stuff. They just want to get it settled and move on. Like there'll be, let's say your plane crashes and you survive. Do you really want to go through the whole court process and listen to the stories and deal with all the stuff and the PTSD for months and months and months? Or do you just want a settlement to live your life and move on? So,
well, talk about, I know we were talking about this before we started like airing and stuff, but talk about how these people are getting like forms that they have to sign. Just
last week we talked about how one of the ladies that came out said that Deshaun Watson gives them a non-disclosure agreement to sign.
Non-disclosure agreement.
Yeah.
Can you imagine Deshaun? He's walking into a massage parlor like, "Hey, before we get started, can you sign this real quick for me?" Like, how?
Yeah, it's probably they don't even read it. He probably just says, "Yeah, it's just saying that like you can't use me on your website to advertise yourself as a massage for Deshaun Watson and stuff like that. Like you can't use my name, this, that, and the other." And then at the very bottom, it probably says also you can't tell anybody when I smack you with my penis.
In fine print.
And it's, yeah, in fine print, and they just sign it. But it's just like, first of all, read your non-disclosure agreements, ladies. Secondly, if anybody has a copy of that,
he's done
with his signature on it, it's wraps. I don't know if they will, because I'm sure he has all of them. He probably burned them in a fire. But you just don't make that up, I don't think. Like, why would, if you're trying to make up this whole thing about this, whatever, why would you, like, what in your brain would trigger that he made you sign a non-disclosure agreement? Like, it doesn't even make sense. So that's what makes me feel like that's true. Even if
there's just so many things that's pointing this to be true. It's wild.
It's really, it's really, like I said, I can't take a dump on Deshaun Watson just in case it's fake, but it's really just like hard to believe.
Because, I mean,
sometimes that is not.
We're going from, I know this was 4 years ago, but this man clearly has shown that he has some type of sexual fetish. I mean, the Mia Khalifa thing. And then now we're going up until today where it's like all these women, it's not like they're not over here calling each other like, hey, girl, you want to go ahead and talk about Deshaun Watson? I got him next week. You get him this week. Okay. No, they don't know each other, okay? They're just out here.
Yeah.
One person says something and it makes the other people feel comfortable enough to say something because, like, girls, they don't like being the one to start things. But, like, once they see one person do it, they will feel more comfortable to come forward and talk about their situation. So
it always happens.
It's
just like
just
with Tiger Woods.
And the stories it's getting more and more detailed as we go. Now we're getting non-disclosure agreements. Now we're getting actual details of what he was asking them to do. So it's just, the longer this goes on for, you can't convince me right now that it's fake. And if it is, shame on me. But I don't see it. I don't see it being fake right now. And then like we were talking about in the very beginning, the Texans get nothing out of this. They're getting bad publicity. They're getting bad media. They're getting all of this. Like, can you imagine, like, all of the different types of, like, press conferences they have to go through just to acknowledge this whole situation? Like,
yeah, forget that, dude.
Talk about Deshaun Watson. Like, I'm sure, don't you hear, like, the GM's probably tired of talking about it. And just, there's no way they just put that on themselves just to avoid the whole trade talk with Deshaun. I don't believe that. That's extraordinary lengths just to go avoid giving away your franchise starter. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense at all. So yeah, we talked about last week how the 49ers traded up to number 3, big draft day stuff. Eagles traded down, et cetera, et cetera. And I put the Falcons in a spot because they're at number 4, and depending on what they're looking for in this draft, they've become open to moving out of number 4. They've received multiple trade calls from multiple teams, one of which I have to imagine is the Patriots.
Yeah.
And so it's just interesting. I mean, we're going to see the number 3 and the number 4 pick traded in the same draft. I mean, that's just fascinating to me. Like, these teams really seem obsessed with these quarterbacks. I don't know. Trevor Lawrence and, oh God, please tell me the second guy. What am I?
Zach Wilson.
Wilson. Oh my God, that's had a brain fart.
Okay.
Zach Wilson, yes. Trevor Lawrence and Zach Wilson. Those are the only 2 guys to me that are like franchise-changing dudes. So these teams are really trading around for like Mac Jones and Justin Fields. Yeah, the Falcons can take advantage of that for sure. I mean, you get some assets to give some team bum-ass Mac Jones, and you get to trade down a little bit and still draft. Because like if you trade down to, like, let's see, say you trade down to like 7 or 8, you might still have a chance at.
I just want to know who they have in mind.
Yeah, because let's assume that the first 3 picks is quarterback. Boom, 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 quarterback. So now you have number 4. Let's say you trade down to the Patriots or some team like that needs a quarterback. Now you got 4 quarterbacks gone. Now you're at number 5. You have the Bengals. They want Jamar Chase or Sewell. Let's say they take Chase, okay? That's 5 picks. Number 6 is who now? The Dolphins? They're going to take Penny. They're going to take. I think they take Sewell. They already have Mike Gesicki over there.
Okay.
So they take Sewell. So that's 6. Now you're at 7. Who has 7? Do you even know? I'm not even sure. I know the Panthers have 8. But let's say they traded down to 7 then. Let's say that they traded down to 7.
Texans maybe?
Now you have, it could be Houston. I think it is. So they won't need a quarterback necessarily. Well, maybe they will. Who freaking knows?
Yeah, that's true.
But anyways, let's say you trade down to 7. You still have Kyle Pitts there. You might even still have Kyle Pitts at 8 or 9. So it's like, if you're the Falcons and you have your eyes on Kyle Pitts and you're starting to look around at this and think like, wait a minute, he might slide a little bit because all these teams want quarterbacks.
Get some picks out of it.
We can get more assets down here and still get Kyle Pitts or even Devontae Smith. Even like, are you going to cry about getting Devontae Smith or Jalen Waddle? You know what I'm saying? So, or even if you trade way down and you get a cornerback, are you really going to be sad about that with all these assets you just got for the number 4 pick that you didn't need? So, interesting.
We'll see. I think it's interesting, though. I mean, we just have to keep our eyes peeled. I'm sure we're probably going to hear more about it for the next podcast for sure.
These teams going to make it really hard for us to do our mock draft. Tell you what. God damn. No consistency at all.
None.
So we were talking earlier about the trading card space, how the market for that is crazy. And another thing that's really starting to blow up is NFTs, which is just like a digital content auction thing. It's like trading cards, but it's digital content, like videos, clips,
artwork,
film, artwork, etc.
Collectibles, yeah.
Yep. And so Peyton and Eli Manning are the first like NFL guys that are retired to launch their stuff. They're starting on the 16th.
Called the Manning Legacy Collection.
Yeah, so I don't even know what that means. I'm assuming that Eli Manning's pass in the Super Bowl is going to be on there with David Tyree.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, listen, the Saints. If anybody from the Saints ever has NFTs and they launch artwork of Tracy Porter's pick six pointing to the end zone, I'm copping. Okay, yeah. I don't care how stupid it sounds. Buying that shit immediately. And Tom Brady's doing it too. He's launching a platform called Autograph. So it'll bring like a bunch of like names from like sports and entertainment and stuff, like all just a bunch of famous people basically to make like unique stuff. So interesting, man. This
it's blowing up.
2021. Yeah, technology, man. NFTs. People are just like, I think this just proves that people will spend money on anything. Like the fact that this has even become a thing now, it's just like, wow, we're spending money on digital artwork now. That's what we're doing.
Good for them.
Big money. Yeah, big money too. Crazy stuff. All right. Well, here we go. Now we're getting into the juice.
I think this is the highlight of the podcast right here. It's got to be. This saved
great, dude.
Our podcast. I'm like as far as content goes, this thing yeah.
The hashtag New York Jets traded Sam Darnold to the Panthers for a 2021 sixth round pick and a second and fourth round pick in 2022. Steal!
Big steal.
Steal that man. Absolutely snipe
big fat
Sam
W
Darnold
for the Panthers.
Holy God. No risk, massive reward potential for the Carolina Panthers. Great job, dude. We all know they wanted Deshaun Watson, but with all that stuff going on, Sam Darnold, and we'll get into this in a second, and I'll let you go over that part with how it compares to Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah.
But this could be huge. You have the Jets on their end. They now have 21 picks in the next 2 drafts, Jeff. Okay? 7 of them are in the first 2 rounds. So
I mean, Joe Douglas, he's got entire drafts to work with. I mean, because the Jets, they're going to pick Zach Wilson, right? So it's just, if that happens, though, if they pick Zach Wilson, they're going to be the first team in the common draft era since 1967 to select 2 quarterbacks in the top 3 overall picks in a 4-year span.
Yeah, that's an L. That's an L for sure.
And then, this is the first time in the common draft era since 1967 that 5 quarterbacks have been selected in the top 3 overall picks, and they will be playing for different teams. So you got Sam Darnold.
Yeah, so five top 3 picks all got moved in the same offseason, is what you're saying.
Mm-hmm. So you got Sam Darnold, who started in the Jets in 2020, is now on the Panthers. Mitch from the Bears to the Bills. Jared Goff to the Rams to the Lions. Carson Wentz from the Eagles to the Colts. And then you got Matthew Stafford from the Lions to the Rams. So it's first time
crazy
since 1967 that 5 quarterbacks in the top 3 are we playing for different teams.
Listen, the Jets, man, that's a lot of draft. It's just interesting. They can either build around Zach Wilson with all those picks, or they can really make a move for somebody in a trade with those picks. That's a lot of draft capital.
Yeah.
Let's say the Saints completely fall apart next season. This is just an example because I'm a Saints fan. I know them the best. But let's say they completely fall apart with Jameis Winston for whatever the case may be. And they're like, crap, dude, we might as well just trade Michael Thomas. It's not working. The Jets, with 85,000 picks in the next 2 drafts, is the first team you call. Like, anybody who's looking to trade a big player, the first team you're calling is the Jets. That's the best position you could possibly be in.
Yeah.
Like if the Bears decide they want to trade Allen Robinson mid-season because he's going to dip, the Jets. You know, it's just like, God, good job, Jets.
The Jets are like
But
the opposite of the
you
Rams.
sold. You absolutely sold in the draft by failing Sam Darnold because Sam Darnold is good, bro. I'm trying to tell people. People have been
I've been
telling me that he's
arguing that
ass,
for a
ass,
while.
ass.
Yeah.
Dude, he is not ass. The Jets are ass. Adam Gase is ass, not the Jets. Excuse me.
Gase is butt
Adam
cheeks.
Gase, bro.
And then he's actually going to
Adam
have
Gase's
weapons
butt
over in
cheeks.
Carolina. He's going to have Robbie Anderson again, and then he's going to have DJ Moore.
And Christian McCaffrey.
Christian
And they
McCaffrey.
might get Kyle Pitts, dude. Oh my god.
So yeah,
If they get Kyle Pitts, this guy has no excuse.
he already had
I'm
a party.
sorry.
I saw it on Twitter. He's over here having a party. He's got balloons. He's
He
got his
did have a
family.
party.
He's having a
I
couple
saw that.
drinks. Good for him, bro.
Yeah, dude. Let's go ahead and go over this Ryan Tannehill comparison.
Yes.
This is crazy to me.
So before I go over all of this might be the case for Adam Gase being the worst coach ever. Okay, so here's Adam Gase with it's a difference between Sam Darnold and Ryan Tannehill. Okay, Ryan Tannehill from 2016 to 2018, his QBR was 59.7. Now in Tannehill, he's in Tennessee now. 2019 and 2020, his QBR is now 92.4. Okay.
Fourth best in the league.
Fourth best in the league. So then let's go back to Sam Darnold, 2019 and 2020 with Gase, 58.8 QBR. So it only goes to show that if Tannehill improved from 59.7 and 92.4, fourth best in the league, Darnold, look, I think he's going to have a new ceiling. He's going to have a brand new ceiling, and I think it's going to be way improved with all these weapons, new coach. I think it's going to be great.
I think that he has a better passing situation than Tannehill does in Tennessee.
Absolutely.
Like Tannehill has had to do AJ Brown kind of turned up this season, but like in the past, the first year he was there, he did a lot of handing off to Derrick Henry and kind of like some short thinking passes. Sam Darnold can also do that with Christian McCaffrey if he's healthy, but also can sling that bitch to multiple different weapons. Like he is in a good spot to not fail. He cannot be bad. If he's bad this season, then we all look stupid.
Like, if you would have told me that Darnold was going to Carolina back when we were talking about like each single division and how strong they're going to be in the division, watch out for the Panthers. Okay, do not sleep now. Okay,
Yeah, if they nail the draft too, if Kyle Pitts falls down there and they get him, and then they add some defense to go along with the guys they already have.
It's gonna be awesome.
NFC South is AIDS, bro. NFC South is gonna be some AIDS next year.
And then real quick, I just want to go over the blueprints of what the Jets have done from this trade, okay? The Dolphins and the Jets basically did the same exact thing, okay? They both fired Gase. That was step 1. Step 2, they hired a defensive-minded coach who was loved by players. Step 3, trade your quarterback, Darnold, Tannehill, for draft capital. Step 4, trade your safety. So they got rid of Jamal Adams, Minkah Fitzpatrick for first-round picks. Step 5, draft quarterback with top 5 pick. Zach Wilson, and then boom, Dolphins got Tua. And now you have your last. You're going to have double firsts and double twos in the next year. So tell me they did not copy the Dolphins blueprint step by step.
They did. And the Dolphins went 11-5. Was it 11-5?
11-5, I believe, yeah.
Yeah, they missed the playoffs on a fluke, basically. How you go 11-5 and miss the playoffs? Like, they were a playoff team the next year after doing all that.
Exactly.
So the Panthers fans their ears are perking up a little bit, like,
the Jets.
wait a minute. And I think that not only because you said they hired a defensive-minded coach, but here's the thing they also did: they have Joe Brady as their offensive coordinator. I think they have a much better offensive coordinator than the Titans have. Like Sam Darnold is set up for so much success right now that, like I said, if he's bad this year, it's just because we were wrong and he's bad.
Are you talking about Panthers, right, with Joe Brady?
Yeah, because you could plug anybody in to that. I mean, except for Teddy Bridgewater, apparently. You can plug anybody in to that offense, and I have a hard time believing that they would suck.
Speaking of Teddy.
Like, that guy P.J. Walker came in off of the damn Canadian League or wherever he came from and was better than Teddy Bridgewater.
That's wild. So where does Teddy go? That's my last question as far as like this little segment.
I'm hearing the Broncos a lot. I think the Broncos are done with Drew Lock, dude. Every time a quarterback comes up, I hear the Broncos, bro. Every time.
What about the Eagles? Washington football team.
They could bring him in. The problem with Teddy Bridgewater is you can't. I mean, you're gonna trade for that contract to be a backup. That's the problem. So it's like if he goes to if Washington trades for Teddy Bridgewater, is he starting over Fitzpatrick? I don't think so. If he goes to the Eagles, is he starting over Jalen Hurts? No. So it's like the Broncos, if they're so done with Drew Lock, like it seems to me they are, then yeah, he might start there.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting for Teddy for sure.
The thing is, you're stuck with that contract. You can't cut him until after next year. So you gotta hope that he can, like, he's guaranteed through this, I believe, this season and next season, and then you can cut him. I think.
If you need a game manager, Teddy's got to be the guy for you. I don't know what team.
That's
exactly
what I'm saying.
Is
that. My thing about Teddy Bridgewater is the Panthers just need a game manager. So what happened?
I think they need more than a game manager. They need someone that can uncork that bitch and throw it to DJ and Robbie, those fast ass guys. Yeah. You can't just hand the ball off every single. I love Christian McCaffrey as much as the next guy, but I mean, then you become like the Ravens where you're just one sided.
They've been handing it off to him only, and he keeps getting hurt, so he needs a break.
Yeah.
All right, so we got we had a lot of pro days this week. A lot of good, exciting pro days at stuff. So Justin Fields had his pro day. He clocked a 4.44 in the 40.
That's fast.
Which like RG3's 4.4 40 time was a 4.41. So just to put that in comparison, we all remember that iconic RG3 down the sideline against the Vikings. That's fast as hell.
Yeah.
And then you have obviously when you think about speed at quarterback, you're talking about Lamar Jackson. But that's not even really fair. He said he ran an unofficial 4.34
with a turf toe.
So we're not even going to talk about him. But 4.44 is good. Listen, Justin Fields, I mean, scrambling is not the problem. I'm just worried about maybe his like if you watch film on Justin Fields, the question is, does he get to his second read fast enough for the NFL?
Yeah.
He seems to kind of hold on to his first read a little bit too long sometimes. And you can get away with that in college, especially when you play for Ohio State, because your players are all better than everybody else for the most part.
Ohio State quarterbacks in general they never seem to be promising when they get to the NFL.
Yeah, at Ohio State, all you got to do is launch that bitch as far as possible, and your receiver's going to get there before the corner. That's just how it works. It's kind of the same thing in Alabama. When you see Alabama, you're the quarterback at Alabama, just throw the bitch as high and as far as you can, and Devontae Smith is going to outrun the guy guarding him.
True.
So, we'll see. But, I don't think he's going to it's just his arm concerns me, kind of like Jalen Hurts a little bit. But then you got the wide receivers from LSU. Both of them, Jamar Chase and Terrace Marshall, ran a 4.38. That's exciting.
Yeah.
That's exciting for anybody that was looking to, because those are, they're not necessarily huge bodies, but they're bigger bodies than a lot of those guys in the draft. And to see them run a 4.38, especially Marshall, which I didn't think he was going to hit the speed that Jamar Chase can. Very interesting. And then this guy,
Kyle Pitts.
This Megatron ass, we can't call him Megatron.
No.
This Optimus Prime ass bitch, Kyle Pitts, bro. 4.44. He's 6'6", 245, Jeffrey. He ran a 4. He's an offensive lineman. He literally. How?
If we're going to compare anybody to Megatron right now, it is not going to be DK. It is going to be this guy. Okay, guys?
Yeah, what the?
I forgot what his right now. His wingspan. The wingspan was what got me. This guy can.
Crazy, bro.
He has I remember one time I was watching the Lions and they were talking about Calvin Johnson has the reach of a garage. Okay, so this guy, I mean, he could just be right there with Calvin, and that's exciting.
Crazy. Where did Calvin run in his 40? Calvin ran a 4.4 flat.
Kyle needs to play wide receiver. Kyle has to play wide receiver. He's going to be dangerous.
I'm putting him a wide receiver. I'm putting him a wide receiver if he's on my team. I'm sorry. You don't need. You can get a big, clunky, slow tight end if you want one. Dude, put this guy in the outside. Because the thing about him, when you watch this pro day, is his route running, bro. He literally stops on a dime and just takes, if he runs, for example, a zig.
Yeah.
He's cutting in, boom, right back outside. Good luck, bro. Good luck. I don't care if he's playing against a corner. I know when you want him at tight end because he's going up against a linebacker and they have absolutely no chance in hell. But, dude, I'm sorry. I'm at least trying it. I'm trying it.
Yeah.
Put him out there on the outside and see what happens. Because you think about Darren Waller. Kyle Pitts is like Darren Waller's dad.
Yeah.
That's how freaking good this guy is.
I'm excited for him, for real.
And then So we have here somebody posted an article about some wide receiver comparisons, and we love to go over those because sometimes wide receiver comparisons get out of hand. But this guy actually put together a good list because usually you see like everybody getting compared to Randy Moss and Jerry Rice, and it's like, stop, please. But this actually makes a little bit of sense. The first one's interesting though. Jamar Chase, they put Anquan Boldin, and I had to think for a second about Anquan Boldin in the beginning of time when he first started.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what, actually. Like, let me look up how fast was Anquan Boldin, because I always thought Anquan Boldin was just a big guy, but was he fast?
When he was with the Ravens, I mean, obviously we got him at like, when he was a veteran at that point. He's just a big physical body. I don't know if he was fast because Jamar Chase is fast. Okay, so
Yeah,
I don't know how fast Bolden was in his prime or when he
Anquan
came out of
Boldin
college.
ran. Oh, all right. Anquan Boldin ran a 4.77.
Yeah.
But I think that the comparison in the thing was the hands. They compared Jamar Chase's hands and like his ability to go get the
That's
football to Anquan Boldin. It wasn't the speed.
Not speed, no. We already
was
talked
just the
about Kyle
receiving
Pitts
ability.
being basically Darren Waller's dad and Calvin Johnson.
Yeah,
A real
Waller,
comparison.
Calvin Johnson. Yeah.
We got Jalen Waddle. They said he was compared to Justin Jefferson already.
Yeah, there's people. Jalen Waddle during the regular season was the best wide receiver in the draft, and then he got hurt. But Jalen Waddle is probably actually, believe it or not, better than Devontae Smith, skill wise. But because he was injured, Devontae Smith just hoed everybody. But I like Jalen Waddle a lot, and he might slip, and somebody's going to get really lucky down there, like 12, 13, 14 potentially, because he was hurt. So
I'll let you talk about the next one because this is interesting to me. This was an interesting comparison.
yeah, Rondale Moore got compared to Laviska Shenault Jr. And
Wild.
it is, but listen, they're like average size dudes that are fast. And Laviska Shenault Jr. had a low key really good season for the Jags with pretty terrible quarterback play, to be honest. So it's interesting. Rondale Moore is a guy that's supposed to be available down where the Saints are at if we decide to not go cornerback. And I don't think that we will do that, but he's going to potentially be hanging around down there. In his combine, well, his pro day, his little fake combine at the college was really good. He has a nice vertical for a little guy. So I don't know. We'll see. But it was just interesting. Like you said, this is such an interesting comparison list because they picked guys you wouldn't expect to be compared to.
Yeah. I like it.
Like they put Rashad Bateman. I like this one. Rashad Bateman as Keenan Allen. That's a pretty decent one to me. Just a big ass dude that has hands.
Yeah.
You don't care how fast he is.
I like the next one. Elijah Moore is compared to a fast Cole Beasley.
Okay, now why didn't they put fast Anquan Boldin for the first one? That really threw me off.
That would have been more
fast,
accurate. Fast Anquan Boldin.
Fast.
It's interesting.
Yeah, Cole Beasley. Cole Beasley is Mr. Reliable, man. So
I like it. Now,
Terrace Marshall got it.
Yes.
Yeah, this is Jeff's guy right here.
I like this because the Ravens obviously have been looking for a wide receiver for the entire offseason. But this could be a guy that could fall to us. Terrace Marshall got compared to Devontae Parker, okay? That guy, look, if we're not even talking about Terrace Marshall, if we got Devontae Parker, instantly number one receiver, okay? So that got me hype because this guy could be the answer. Could be.
Yeah.
And the next one is blowing my mind with Devonta Smith.
Devontae Smith, they gave him Marvin Harrison. I don't think they're not saying he's as good as Marvin Harrison. It's just the way he plays. He is just like a gazelle. He just runs. It's like when you watch him in college, it's just like the smoothest route running. He's just chilling. Yeah, I like, dude. There's a lot of good wide receivers in this draft. This is a good draft, dude. Like the quarterbacks, wide receiver. You got tight end Kyle Pitts coming out.
Got good linemen, kind of. You got some good edges.
Yeah, defense is kind of sus, though. Not gonna lie to you, corners and stuff. But
yeah.
You got a couple like J.C. Horn, but like other than that, it's kind of. But if you're looking for offense in this draft, bro, this is the one for you. You need to
go all out,
cash in on this. I think that's why the Bengals fans are so excited because they got offense for days in this draft.
It's gonna be interesting.
And yeah, this is where we move on to our little extra segment here to fill in the dead off season that's going to occur for the rest of the way. We're doing our breakout candidates. Like I said, we're going to do every division each week. So we're starting with the AFC East. We both just pick a guy from each team from the AFC East, and as our breakout. So I'll start. We did the Patriots first, and I went with Kendrick Bourne, the wide receiver they just copped from the 49ers as a free agent.
Interesting one.
Yeah, I mean, he's 6'1", 190. He's a good size. Listen, Cam Newton wants to throw. Okay, last season was not what I promise you. He did not like how he was forced to play last year. He's more than they've signed a lot of guys. I think Kendrick Bourne's skill is most likely to land him as wide receiver one
I
over
think
like
so.
Nelson Aguilar and whatever. Like he's definitely going to be their best option, and so I think that gives him a chance to put up some numbers. He's confident. You know, there was an article where he talked about Bill Belichick saying that he's gonna this is the team that'll put me in the best position to be successful, which is true. If you watch the Patriots in the past, look at guys like Julian Edelman and whatnot. What are they doing without the Pats? So, or Amendola, not Edelman. But he had, even with the 49ers last year, with their rotating door of terrible quarterback play, he still had 49 catches for 670 yards and 2 touchdowns.
It's not bad.
So you put that
And they were super
in a
injured.
Belichick offense with Cam Newton, and Cam Newton has a prove it year. I don't know. I feel like he might be able to approach that 1K yards mark and maybe like 7 or 8 touchdowns, maybe like 70 catches. I don't know. I think he was their best addition. Like the tight ends are cool, but I think he was, between him and Nelson Aguilar, he's easily the best move they made, that wide receiver.
Yeah, for sure. He's definitely going to be their number one. I have no doubt in my mind he won't be.
Mm-hmm.
I can't see Nelson being number one.
No, not after week 1 when he drops 8 balls.
No. But let's talk about a guy who I think saved the Patriots season last year, guys. Damian Harris. He's my breakout. Guy only played 10 games, okay? And he's got to be the starter. I mean, I think ever since he took over, with the numbers here alone, I mean, yeah, he had 137 attempts again, but he had 691 yards. And he had an average of 5 yards per carry, so not bad. He's not the slowest guy in the world either. He ran a 4.5. That's not the slowest thing in the world. I just think he's going to be more of a feature back after realizing that Sony and James White are just not as productive as they used to be.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I feel anytime I saw the Patriots play with Cam, it was Damon Harris going especially when they went against the Baltimore Ravens. That hurt me the most, seeing this guy just run down my throat. But Damon Harris, I think he's going to be full-time starter next year. He's going to be the number one guy, and I think, like I said, I think this guy saved their season last year. I really do.
Yeah,
The more
you
of a run
have him
team.
down that he was 9th in yards per carry. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, Damon Harris has to be the guy for me to be break. I mean, I like Kendrick Bourne, but Damien Harris seemed to be it's almost like he had a breakout season last year, but it didn't didn't have a full season either. So I need to have him have a full season, all 17 games, I'm sorry, and see what he does. I'm excited to watch this kid.
Yep, and then we go to the Jets. And we just talked about their trades and whatnot, and they're going to have a new quarterback in there. They got a new offense, new scheme. I'm going with Denzel Mims. Denzel Mims was hurt in 2020. They haven't pulled off the miracle wide receiver signings that all the Jets fans were talking about. And so I think Mims has a chance to shine here, especially if they bring in Zach Wilson slinging that ball. Last season, he only had 23 catches for 357 yards, but like I said, he was hurt. He's a talented kid, and I just think with a better offense in place and a better quarterback play, like not that Sam Darnold's bad, but just the whole scenario with the Jets last year was just garbage. So refreshing that, better offense, better quarterback play, better scheme in general. Denzel Mims, watch out. Might be picking him late in fantasy this year. Just saying.
Speaking of fantasy, I might pick this kid up because when we're talking about breakouts and on the Jets alone, a few names come to mind. I mean, Marcus May, but he's already had a breakout season. He's already been proven to be one of the better players on defense. So I had to get creative here with this one. I'm going with a pure fantasy pick right here. I'm just going to say Zach Wilson is going to have a breakout rookie season. He's going to be rookie of the year. It's going to be him and Trevor Lawrence. I don't know. But, I mean, when I look at this kid's stats
the hot
in college,
take. We're not going to just grow. We're not just going to graze over that. Everybody's write that down. Jeff said rookie of the year.
Zach Wilson.
Zach Wilson.
I love Trevor. He's my guy, but I think Zach Wilson, maybe. Just listen. Hear me out, guys. So in 2020 at BYU, he only had 12 games. Okay, just played 12 games. This kid has 196 QBR. He threw 33 touchdowns and only 3 picks. 3,600 yards. 3,692 yards. Guys, he had a 73.5 completion rating. This kid was on fire last year, and he didn't even play all the games, and he almost threw for 4,000 yards. And then even if you want to go back to 2018, 2019, he only played 9 games both of those years, and he still had a QBR of 157.2 2018 and 130.8 2019. Still threw. He had still had a good touchdown to interception ratio as well, 12-3 and then 11-9. I think this kid is the real deal for them. I mean, I thought Sam Darnold was too, but I mean, Zach Wilson seems more of a complete, franchise quarterback, and I'm just going to say he's going to have a breakout rookie season. That's all I'm going to say. I like this kid.
We'll have to see. Speaking of quarterbacks, we move on to the Dolphins, and we got to put Tua on the list, man. We got to. The Tua Tagovailoa slander has got to stop. All right? Good Lord, dude. I mean, god damn it. The media, besides Dan Orlovsky, who absolutely just shit on everybody for talking trash about Tua, like, bro, stop. It's been one season. Relax. Calm down. Holy smokes. Everybody's like, oh, they got to trade him. Deshaun Watson. They got to get somebody else. He's not good enough. Oh, my God.
Early for that.
Stop it, dude. His wide receivers were injured. They had horrible wide receiver play. They were last place in the entire NFL in average wide receiver separation per play. Stop. What do you expect to happen when the receivers are open? Relax. He had 1,100 yards and 11 touchdowns and 5 picks. He didn't play the whole season. He sat on the bench a lot. He learned from Ryan Fitzpatrick. 87 QBR, not great. 12 drop passes, 4.3% drop rate from wide receivers. It's okay, guys. They're bringing in some help. They got Will Fuller. They're going to draft somebody most likely. The offensive line is going to get better. Chill. I could easily see. Go ahead.
Like, it was just his ability to understand when a wide receiver is open. Okay, I saw it most when I was watching the Raiders game versus the Dolphins. Okay, Tua, like, he thinks, because he's used to playing in Alabama, where guys they have like 16 steps between the cornerback and the wide receiver. You can easily see it open. But when you look at these guys in the NFL, honestly, one step is an open receiver. So Fitz had to show him what an open receiver looks like. Now that I think Tua's going to practice this in the offseason, and Ryan Fitzpatrick, I love this guy because he was not the type of guy that was like, I'm not going to try to mentor somebody. He did. He mentored Tua, and he showed him what it's like to be an NFL quarterback, and everything that he was messing up on, he showed him how to help craft his ability, and I think Tua is going to understand what it's like to see what it means to be open. And it might not even be an issue going into next year, especially if they get one of these wide receivers that are going to get some separation and speed and all this. Tua's going to be nothing but better from here on out.
Yeah, I think Fitz even said in an interview what you just said, where he was like, I think Tua didn't understand what being open means in the NFL, whereas like he's waiting to find somebody with 2 or 3 steps when no, you got to fire that into a 1-step window. So yeah, and don't forget, guys, he had a freaking hip surgery before the draft when people were saying that he might not even be able to play at full potential ever again. So let's just take a breath for a second. He's healthy. Let's just see what happens in year 2, guys. Please stop overreacting. I don't know where the overreaction came from. Like, anybody expected the Dolphins went 11-5. How are we overreacting about Tua when the Dolphins went 11-5? They were supposed to be a bum, like an 8-8 team at max. 11-5, dude. He's one of the best defenses in the league. It's just like, God, dude.
When has a rookie quarterback ever taken anybody to the Super Bowl? Okay, let's just think about that, guys. Okay.
No, it's just calm down, bro.
And speaking about another offensive weapon that I think could improve going into next year is Myles Gaskin. He only played 7 to 10 games last year, guys, and he's not slow either. He ran a 4 or 5. And I mean, they did sign Malcolm Brown, but I don't think he's going to be a threat. I think he's just going to be there for more like depth. And I think Gaskin has tons of potential, high ceiling. Assuming they don't get like a running back in the draft. I mean, this kid wasn't bad. I liked his yards. He had 584 yards. Only, I mean, that's almost what 75 yards a game. And again, he only played 7 games, and 3 touchdowns. Sure, he could be more of a red zone threat there, but it wasn't bad. He's not a bad guy. I think he could be maybe like in a committee with Malcolm Brown, but I think he could have a breakout season.
Yeah, I agree. They got to run the ball a little bit more effectively, anyways, to help Tua out to begin with. Because that offense in general was just really like their defense carried so hard. Lastly, we got the Bills. I'm gonna go with my man's from UCF, Gabe Davis. I think the Bills have so many wide receivers that Gabe Davis is about to pull cornerback 4 on defense, and he's going to have a field day with that. I mean, he had 35 catches, 600 yards, and he had 7 freaking touchdowns last year. Like, let's not sleep on that. He looked great. Like in the playoff game against the Colts, he was making some insane sideline grabs. The Bills are still a little bit sus running the ball, potentially, so they like to throw. Josh Allen's going to approach 5,000 yards, no problem. And they're not all going to go to Stephon Diggs. No. About 1,500 of them yards is going to Stephon Diggs. That leaves 3,500 yards for everybody else. And I think Gabe Davis is going to get a lot of those yards. He might approach 1,000 yards next year. I really like Gabriel Davis, and he is a good red zone threat as well.
Yeah. And then you said something about the running game being a little sus. So I picked this guy to be my breakout, Matt Breida. Okay. Yep. He claims to be the fastest player in the NFL. We all know that Tyreek Hill, the cheetah, obviously, but just hear me out on this stat. I thought it was a pretty cool stat. In 2018, Breida was captured running at a speed of 22.09 miles per hour. In 2019, he broke that, and peaking him at 22.3 miles per hour in 2019. So I think Tyreek Hill has the record right now at 23 miles per hour. You can check me on that, guys. But I mean, Matt Breida, he's fast. Okay, I like he's a lightning bolt. Okay, and he hasn't been that productive since he was with the 49ers. Yeah, he was kind of quiet in Miami last year, but when in 2018 he averaged 10 yards a carry. He's never been the starter here. He's always been in a committee. So it just tells me that if you give him the ball, you can kind of count on him. He ran a 4.3 in college. So I know I'm talking about a lot about speed here, but speed kills when you're a running back. I mean, there's been plenty of evidence for that, and I think he could be the breakout guy right next to Gabe Davis.
If anything, that was passed to him. Like if he's not hitting the holes properly, just hit him on a halfback screen or something.
That too.
If you're that fast. Like, just pad Josh Allen's stats even more. Instead of ever handing the ball off, just run lateral screens. That way you get all the passing yards, but your running backs still go off. That's what I would do. Get Josh Allen 6,000 yards. Just go hard. Go off. Throw it to everybody. Never run.
Never run ever.
Never run the ball. Don't ever run. Throw the ball 80 times a game.
Yeah, I mean, It seems like they have some good running backs. I mean, they got Matt Breida, Singletary, and who was Zach Moss. So, I mean,
Zach Moss.
Big committee. Plenty of wide receivers. Those are dangerous.
Bills are dangerous. Bills are just, can they get over the Chiefs hump? That's it.
But yeah, I think that was all of our breakouts.
Yeah, that's it for the breakouts, and that is it for this episode. Solid episode for such a quiet week. Thank God for the Sam Darnold. Thank you, Jets. Thank you so much. And our man Deshaun Watson's always going to give us something to talk about. But we appreciate you guys for watching and listening. I'm sure you guys don't just sit here and watch this. You probably listen on the side, but appreciate you guys.
Yeah.
Make sure if you did enjoy this episode that you smash the like button. We want to see how many of you guys that are watching do enjoy this. If you watched all the way to the end, let us know in the comment section. Who do you want your favorite team to draft? Let us know in the comment section. First round pick. Who do you guys want them to draft?
Yes.
As we are slowly moving towards mock draft season here on the podcast, we're going to do ours like literally the week before the draft. So don't worry, we are going to do one. We're just giving ourselves more time to do some research because we both kind of slacked off on college football this year, but we will do it. So leave us who you guys want on your teams down below so that we can take that into consideration as we go through our picks. And subscribe to both channels, like I said. Link in the description for Jeff. Jeff, you got anything you want to say, man?
Yeah, real quick. So, guys, I mean, obviously you saw this was kind of a lighter episode. Please, in the comments section, is there anything that you kind of wanted us to go over? Maybe you heard about it online or social media or Twitter, whatever, and you're just like, man, I really wish they would have talked about that. we're always looking for more content because, like, again, this is a lighter, during those quiet times in the off season, I'm sure it's going to get even more dry, especially during the summer. So if you have any ideas, kind of like the breakout season thing that we did, or just anything like that, give us any type of recommendations you got. We're more than happy to look at those and try to incorporate that into our podcast.
Right. Power rankings, top tens, any like just anything, bro. Just give us ideas. We're willing to do anything football related for the boys. But yep, that's gonna be it for this one. Episode 3. We are staying on schedule. Look at us, bro. We're not gonna miss a single week, guys. We really aren't.
Consistent.
And consistency is key. And hopefully you guys enjoyed this. And we're just gonna catch you guys in episode 4 over on Jeff's channel. For the last time, subscribe to his damn channel, goddammit. Subscribe, and we'll catch y'all there. Peace.
See you guys.